you're offended by what I have to say in this video, or you're upset with what I have to say in this video, then please feel free to unsubscribe and follow me on Twitter and Facebook, the works, okay? Go fuck yourselves. It's ridiculous. I mean, if I was that desperate, if all I was interested in was emptying my bollocks, right? I live about a 10-minute drive, something like that, away from the red light district. I could go and do that. If getting laid was all I was interested in.
Oh, nay, he didn't.
Now, as the title of this will suggest to you, I'm going to be addressing somebody who I didn't think I was going to be having to deal with at all, basically. Because she said she was leaving YouTube, but apparently she now isn't it.
As many of you already know, my time on YouTube is nearing its end. I have several accounts on YouTube that I've opened prior to the recent flagging wars, including this one, that are not subject to removal based on YouTube's banning rules. But really, what's the point? You've all spoken, you don't want me here. I never actually said I was leaving YouTube. I made this video on my third account after having one account removed for a mirror of Thunderfoot's ex's cocaine use. A video about Christina Hoff Sommers that was flagged for having an image of Nazi Davis Arini superimposed on an uncircumcised penis. And a video about Shoe on Head and Armored Skeptic questioning her age after Kevin Logan, you, lied and told me that you found out that Shoe was 17 years old and then told me that Armored Skeptic was a pedophile. All three videos were flagged in what is called flagging wars because, very much like Kevin, the male feminist, other hostile anti-woman male trolls online would like to silence me. I'm not going anywhere, so don't get comfy.
I am for the decriminalisation of prostitution.
Of course you are. That's where you go to get laid. It benefits you most to have legalized prostitution. You and your hairy red bullocks.
No, I'm not. I don't hold that position because I think inherently prostitution's a brilliantly positive thing, or even a nice, or a good thing in any real way. I think it's fucking disgusting. I think it's exploitative and creepy and just generally.
Oi, can I go to the red light district whenever I want?
But it's a matter of practicality for me. Okay. In order to make any sensible, reasonable change to the world, you have to accept reality as it exists, or as the best we can perceive it to exist anyway.
Okay, we have to accept reality as it is. Women are going to be paid less, raped and abused more, told what to do with their bodies, and sexualized more often in media. Let's just accept it. Why are you a feminist again?
Without getting into Cartesian fucking issues. Anyway, and the reality is prostitution has existed since the dawn of human civilization, and it isn't fucking going anywhere anytime soon.
Again, let's do nothing about it then, because historically it's been normalized. Historically, blacks have been paid less than whites. Let's just accept that because skin color in history. Women have been paid for the use of their vaginas throughout history. Let's accept that. Is Sargon of Akkad making these arguments?
So what's the best solution? Not the ideal solution, because there is no real ideal solution possible. But what's the best thing we can do to try and protect these incredibly vulnerable, poor women who are in horrific danger in any number of ways? What's the best thing we can do? And provably, time after time, the best thing you can do is to legalise.
If the solution to protecting these incredibly vulnerable women is to decriminalize sex work, then why, in the study that I cite, did it show that there is an increase in sex trafficking in regions that have decriminalized? We are hurting more people because, one, we're making a legitimate job out of using people for their bodies, and two, we are creating a more accepting climate for people who kidnap underage girls, drug them, and use them as sex slaves. The other study I cite shows that women in the sex industry suffer from mental illness such as anxiety, depression, and PTSD due to the work that they undertake. How are we protecting these women from sometimes irreversible mental trauma?
What can we do to best impact the lives of some of the least advantaged people, or the most disadvantaged, I should say, people in society? And that would be decriminalisation.
Okay, where's your proof? Where are your studies? I cited 2 papers, one that mentioned the mental harm that comes to sex workers and the other mentioned the increase in trafficking that comes with decrim. Are you just going off of no research and repeating Garrett's talking points? Your ethos at this point is that you use prostitution for sexual ends and want prostitution decriminalized because it's gross? I'm confused as to how you've reached this decision, other than believing hearsay of another advocate for prostitution who's a male and lives in a country where prostitution is legal.
Jenny, on the other hand, takes a very different approach to this. She is, as again the title would suggest, a SWERF, which, for those who don't know, it stands for Sex Worker Exclusionary Radical Feminist.
No. SWERF actually means nothing. It's an epithet created and thrown around by white male anti-feminist conservatives who fear social change because they may find themselves losing a place of social advantage. SWERF implies that the radical feminist excludes sex workers, which they do not. As most sex workers are women, the issue of sex work is huge in most feminists' eyes. SWERFs, as you and the anti-feminists of YouTube so call them, are advocating for the rights and equal treatment of women with women's interests in mind. The evil SWERF supports the prostitute, but fights against the normalization of their job role in society, all while hoping that the Johns who consume prostitutes see some sort of punishment or public shaming for what they do.
I don't really want to link Jenny's video, but for full disclosure, because I'm not going to be playing you the whole thing, because it's 9 minutes and it's shit.
Wow, 9 minutes and it's shit. That does sound really long, almost as long as this almost 15-minute video. I can see why you think discussing women's issues and citing peer-reviewed journal articles is shit. Wait, no I can't. Love the hand clapping, by the way. You're really channeling Agent of Doubt here. All you're missing is Mountain Dew and adult onset diabetes. Ooh, maybe all you're missing is Mountain Dew.
I'm not a moral absolutist. My position is not based on right or wrong. It is based on the idea.
Well, again, it might not be based on right or wrong, but it's not based on practicality either. So I don't quite know what your thing is based on, really. But there you go.
It's not practical to be of a position of decriminalizing prostitution when it increases sex trafficking, literal sex slavery, and takes a toll mentally on its workers.
That I give up of my body. Like I've literally been off work the last week and a half, 2 weeks, because I had a heavily bruised rib or ribs. So I put my body on the line in order to not starve or be homeless. The firefighter does an even more brave job, and the policeman and the soldier and all the rest of it, right? So in that sense, how is that any different?
It's different because the firefighter is not degraded sexually for their pay, which goes toward basic human necessities. As a security guard, you're not being defecated on for groceries. Someone doesn't call you a little whore while slamming your head onto their penis.
With decriminalization of sex work, workers can be regularly tested for STDs, receive work benefits, don't have to worry about interactions with police, and that violence has gone down because women are now allowed to pick partners and do not have a forceful pimp dictating what they do. All great things.
Yeah, they are all great things, which she just totally glosses over.
Nay, that's called concession. The writer uses concession when putting forth an argument to show that they've given a balanced look at both sides and have still reached their decision. It also makes the video less biased. Maybe I should have yelled fucking asshole and cum bucket at the camera.
The thing, if you've got a plan for getting rid of this completely, like literally getting rid of all of the demand for prostitution and all of the supply of prostitutes that were willing to sell that service, then I'm all ears. But you're not going to. It's been around since the dawn of human civilization. You're not going to get rid of this.
Whoa there. I'm discussing ideas in a video and you're attempting to delegitimize the ideas because I, a waitress that vlogs on YouTube, have not come up with a solution? What if there is no solution? Am I not allowed to have thoughts? What are your solutions for Islamophobia? Do you have any? If not, you're not allowed to make videos about it. Only make videos that work towards social change if you have a direct solution.
Yeah, again, to get them out of the need to do it for food. The same is true of the coal miner. He has to do it for food, or she has to do it for food. If you want to have a larger discussion about wage slavery, fine, but that encompasses virtually everyone.
Why are you arguing slavery? I have nowhere in my video said that a sex worker is a slave. I discuss power structures based on wealth inequality. Let me know the next time you see a coal miner who was choked while being fucked doggy style that day in order to make their wages.
In Zurich were interviewed, and the findings showed very high instances of mental health disorders among sex workers based on violent interactions and the burden of sex work.
Yes, but how does your plan stop that?
What plan? What are you talking about? My plan is to have a discussion and inform people of a few things that haven't been brought up in discussion about decriminalization. This video is coming off as an angry and impulsive off the cuff with no research and vendettas to fulfill. And coming up is a part where Kevin pulls a total drunken peasant and pauses to comment, while in the next sentence I clarify. It is actually beautiful how the next thing I say smashes his stupid comment.
I use sex work and prostitution interchangeably to show you that I refuse to simplify what is being done as work.
Yeah, you've also described it as whoring. I'll leave you, dear viewer, to make your conclusions from that.
If there are moral connotations to the words I use, it may upset you, but honestly, I hope it does. I refuse to sugarcoat a disgusting treatment of human beings for my audience.
Ooh, now here's the part where he gets angry.
So, Garrett, I am not saying that the points that you made are untrue. I think there is data to back up your claims that there can set to be advantages to decriminalization. But here are my counterpoints to the overall concept of prostitution that you've laid down. 1, you are a man. Call this a gender fallacy, but that doesn't make me wrong. I do not care if you call yourself a feminist and claim to fight for the same cause as me. If you attempt to speak on the behalf of women in an industry where women are taken advantage of by men predominantly, I fail to have a high opinion of you.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Jenny. You proper cunt. You sexist, bigoted prick. I wonder where people get the idea that some feminists hate men. Where did they get that idea? It's crazy, isn't it?
Wow. Calm your tits, Kevin. I have an issue with men who support prostitution and an issue with men who pose as feminists on YouTube. You attempt to be the loudest voices, and we don't need you to be. Back the fuck off. Feminists don't need men who are so-called feminists speaking for them when they advocate for prostitution while making offhanded remarks about going to prostitutes and getting laid. We also don't need men helping, in air quotes, the cause that call other female feminist cunts simply because they disagree with their ideas. Ever since Armored Skeptic and Shoe on Head came into the mix and you made a point to get involved by making the video saying that you support me, wherein you also say that you can go get laid by prostitutes, I've had an issue with you. You insinuate yourself in the middle of hot topics and you lose your temper extremely fast. I overlooked your cum bucket comment and your red light district comment in the name of solidarity among feminists. But when you started frequenting anti-feminist podcasts to gain subscribers and mostly agreeing and touting anti-feminist talking points, I knew I could no longer trust you. After lying to me about Shoe on Head's age and my making the video about it, which I have since removed for its inaccuracies because it is obvious that Armored Skeptic is not a pedophile as you claimed, you went onto Woolly Bumblebee's podcast and made it appear as if you knew nothing about the situation and even admonished my actions in repeating the information you gave me. You are a coward, Kevin Logan. You never apologized to me for the misinformation. You just avoided me and evaded my questions about who gave you the information. You then used the fact that you are a man and seen as more credible than me, an insane feminazi, to deter people from seeing you as the one responsible for spreading very serious information. I trusted you, and in the end, you said that it was me who took advantage of your trust in sharing the message with Woolly Bumblebee where you named Armored Skeptic as a pedophile. I don't need your support for my cause, Kevin. You have not only failed as a feminist, but as an intellectual. Your arguments are filled with holes and fallacy, and your violent and misogynistic nature makes you lose credibility.